10th season of UConn women's basketball on SNY continues tonight with a t-shirt and trophy game. It's Marquette taking on UConn at the XL Center. A win tonight for the Huskies gives them the outright Big East regular season title. A look at the standings as we enter the final week of competition this season shows the Huskies with just the one conference loss on the season. They're 3 ahead of Creighton in the loss column. Marquette playing to hold on to that 5th spot and the final first round bye in the Big East Championship Tournament. That's what's on the line tonight here in Hartford. And hello from the XL Center with Megan Kulmo. I'm Alan Bestwick. We've talked a lot about this season of oddities and injuries, and yet here we are to the final week of the regular season, and UConn in position to clinch yet another conference championship. How have they made this journey to get on the precipice of that title tonight?
Wow, it's been a season like we have never seen before. I think, number one, you have to credit great coaching. Gino Auriemma and his staff have done an outstanding job keeping this team together, fighting through all of that adversity, and their offense has been up and down throughout the course of the year. But the thing that has been consistent, as it has been over the years with this team, is their defense. They've done it. The guards, the forwards there, Ducharme, the great hands, backside help there from Juhas. Great team defense, hands up, swatting balls away. It leads them into their offense. Tremendous anticipation. They've just worked hard on the defensive end, and that's been able to help them get through some of their offensive slumps. But I tell you what, defense is gritty and tough, and that's what wins championships.
Yeah, and championships is what's on the line tonight for the Huskies. It will not be easy. We saw in the matchup between these two teams just 10 days ago, Marquette is a very good, disciplined squad, and they make their name on defense.
They do, and they're incredibly well coached. Megan Duffy is one of the great young coaches in the game. She's disciplined. She teaches her kids the right way to play the game. And they played UConn tough for 35 minutes at Marquette. And in that fourth quarter, UConn just decided to go off. They went on a 27-11 run. They entered the fourth quarter down against Marquette. But I tell you what, their defense did turn into offense. And Azzi Fudd, we know she's a three-point shooter. She did a great job putting the ball on the floor and scoring a bunch of twos. They took over the game in the fourth when they had to.
You see some of the numbers there. 72-58 was the final in that one. But again, a game played neck and neck throughout. So did the Golden Eagles gain some confidence from that one that they can carry into the matchup tonight? Or will UConn keep the fourth quarter party going and have another one of those games like Mika Mule says where everybody eats? We'll tip it off next in Hartford. Marquette and UConn with a Big East title on the line. Will it be over soon? Tonight's starting lineups presented by Subaru of New England. Change for UConn. Olivia Nelson-Ododa goes back into the starting 5 after coming off the bench the last 2. And for Marquette, they've had the same starting lineup for all but 5 games of the 26 they've played this year, and do again tonight, including 4 upperclassmen in that group. So here we go. Will they pass out the t-shirts and bring the trophy on the floor at the end of 40 minutes of play? Nelson-Ododa wins the tip, and we're underway in Hartford.
There's a lot of basketball to be played before we can talk about that.
It's too late, I already did. Nelson-Ododa working on Lauren Van Clunen, 42, one of the good ones for Marquette. Here's Mule. Gets a good screen from Nelson-Ododa, shot won't go. Chloe Murata on the rebound.
Nice box out inside there by Marquette.
Very experienced squad for Marquette. Went 12. Carissa McLaughlin puts her hands on the ball. She is a terrific three-point shooter. But the Huskies held her to just 30% from 3 in the game 10 days ago. 10 to shoot. Here's McLaughlin. Inside, Liza Carlin gets the first points.
Good discipline, good spacing on the offensive end for Marquette.
Just 2 left on the shot clock when they got it away. Here's Azzi Fudd. Had a terrific game against the Golden Eagles in Milwaukee. Kicks to Williams. Inside to Nelson-Ododa.
Nice pass from Williams to her classmate Nelson-Ododa.
So now front court pressure by the Huskies will be broken by the Golden Eagles. Mule with a hand on the ball. It bounces away. Who gets it on the floor? That's going to be, they're going to call a foul on, I believe, Mika Mule. Yes, it will be. As we see Gino Auriemma resplendent in blazer tonight, looking to clinch yet another conference championship for his squad. And Megan Duffy, you talked about one of the great young coaches in the game. She is a bundle of energy. Watching her coach her team during morning practice today.
She ran as much as they did.
Yes. Here's McLaughlin, tries to drive on Williams, kicks to Van Clunen. She'll get fouled on the way up. And that's going to be Nika Mule's second quickly. And we're not even a minute and 35 seconds into the ball game.
Well, that's where UConn's new depth, which is a novelty that they have, this is where it will help them as Westbrook comes in, and Mule will sit down with those 2 fouls.
And so Lauren Van Clunen goes to the line, a grad student from Mason, Ohio, who leads the Golden Eagles in scoring. She is the all-time leader in games played for the Marquette program in her 5th season now with them, and gets the free throws to go.
I mean, 152 games, that's
really, right?
Outrageous. I mean, that just shows toughness, both mental and physical.
Westbrook works the screen and gets the pass from Nelson Adota.
Well, I think it was McLaughlin that got caught up on the screen from Nelson Adota, and then Nelson Adota with the steal.
Kristen Williams looks for space from the free throw line. No. Aaliyah Edwards with the offensive board. And can't keep control of it.
That's a way to impact the game from Aaliyah Edwards. She enters the game and immediately tracks down an offensive rebound. Gino Auriemma loves to see that.
Offensive glass, something that Edwards has done really well lately. More on that as we continue. Chloe Morano with the ball for Marquette. Drives on Nelson Adota. Nice right-hand move. Aaliyah Edwards with the defensive glass for UConn. Westbrook inside. Nelson Adota on Van Clunen. Big left-hand step and in.
I like the way she stepped by Van Clunen. Van Clunen at 6'2", no match for the 6'5" Nelson Adota.
Jordan King, 23, runs the show from the offensive end of things for Marquette. And here's Murata, shot clock into single digits again. Dishes inside, miscommunication with Carlin, and Westbrook picks up the loose ball.
Outstanding defense by Avina Westbrook that whole possession.
Looked to shoot, brought it back down. And going to be a foul called inside, 3-second call on Aaliyah Edwards. So turnover by the Huskies. In that game 10 days ago against Marquette, talked about what a great fight it was for most of the game. UConn set a season low for turnovers. In that game, they only turned the ball over 6 times in the entire ball game. And the Huskies average just over 14 turnovers a ball game on the season.
That's pretty incredible, especially since they didn't have Ducharme and Nelson Adota.
And against such a strong defensive team as Marquette. Here's Van Clunen. Spins, blocked by Nelson Adota. Right back to Van Clunen. The right hand hook, and it goes. What determination.
That's just such a tough shot by the athletic Van Clunen. She's such a savvy player. The right-handed hook with a little fadeaway, so difficult to block.
And composed after getting it blocked right back to her. Going to be a foul on the floor as Westbrook drove. That's going to be the first on McLaughlin.
Well, Van Clunen, as a grad student, you know, this is her 5th year. She's taken that extra year, so that just speaks to her poise and maturity. Getting her shot blocked, don't worry about it, just keep playing.
So the Huskies with a 20-second shot clock to work after the inbounds play off of the foul call. Here's Kristen Williams. Murata out to defend her. Drives, blocked by Murata. And Williams will get called on the foul pursuing the loose ball, but Jordan King was there already for it.
Just tremendous defense from Murata. Great timing. Swatted it away, and then Kristen tried to hustle after it. And then the bump there caused the foul.
Tied at 6 as we approach halfway through quarter number 1. Very low scoring so far.
Well, 2 great defensive teams.
Shot missed from Murata. She looked over her shoulder for a foul call, did not get one. Flood will take a step. And a turnover by the Huskies. Well, the low-scoring game That's Marquette's thing, right?
Yeah, it is. You know, not that UConn has blown anyone out of the gym with the points that they score, but yeah, Marquette wants a slower paced, lower scoring kind of game.
Flood swatted that one out of bounds. It'll be Marquette ball. Marquette leads the Big East in scoring defense. They only allow about 57 points a game. They score about 65. Avina Westbrook read the inbound play all the way. Drives on King. King knocks the ball away, but it'll be UConn's with 28 to shoot.
Really good anticipation here from the senior Westbrook. Just a savvy play, tightrope on the sideline. And then similarly great defense from Marquette.
Flood gets loose and then gets trapped and will travel when she tried to pull the ball back in.
Yeah, she did shuffle her feet.
Saw the defensive help coming when she was ready to go up with the ball, and it was too late by that point. So Huskies are halfway to that total game turnover number from 10 days ago already. Shot misses from McLaughlin, and tipped around ball goes to Flood. 2.5 minutes since the Huskies have scored. Inbound to Edwards. Couldn't handle the high pass, but it goes out of bounds off of Murata. It'll be UConn ball after the timeout. 6-all. Midway through quarter number 1 in Hartford. There's your score live from the XL Center halfway through quarter number 1 between UConn and Marquette. Maria Marino's first in-game report brought to you by Toyota. There's a young lady on the screen there. Are we talking about her?
Yeah, I think so, Alan. You know, the big question on everyone's minds at this point in the UConn season is, when is Paige Bueckers coming back? Well, we don't have a definitive answer to that, but we can say it's a matter of days. She's been getting stronger, doing more and more. She was very active the last couple practices. Just today, we even saw her practicing without her knee brace. She participated in warm-ups earlier as well, was sporting the knee brace at that time. She is getting close, but it's just a fluid situation.
Well, I can tell you that when Paige came running out of the tunnel in her game uniform with that big knee brace on, those who were here at XL Center early tonight, it put a little jolt of energy into them for sure. But Paige not available for the Huskies tonight. Look at the numbers with and without. Remember how difficult it was for UConn to adjust to her absence at the very beginning after that injury in early December?
Yeah, I mean, they've really worked together and worked incredibly hard to become a complete basketball team in her absence.
Leah Edwards' shot missed. Flood couldn't get the rebound, and it goes to Jordan King for Marquette.
And think about it, that first meeting when Marquette led, you know, throughout that game, because UConn wasn't making shots. Yeah. They're not able to get transition buckets. That's hurting their offensive flow right now.
Pass blocked by Westbrook. She tries to go end-to-end. Blocked. Tied up ball. Jordan King got a hand squarely on the top of the ball.
You know, this is just 2 really good defensive plays in a row. Westbrook stepping in the passing lane. And then in this case, King just makes a really good play on her defensive end. I was surprised on the other end they didn't call a kick.
Yeah, I thought so too. Alternating possession arrow gave the ball to Marquette, so we hang here at 6 apiece. Been over 3 minutes since the Huskies scored. Been about 4 minutes since the Golden Eagles have scored. Shot clock already down to 5. Van Clunen with the ball. Inside, Murata double teamed. Kicks it out to Van Clunen, lets it fly, around and out. Rebound up and in by Antoinette Walker into the game for Marquette. The junior from Lisle, Illinois, has played an increasing role after struggling a bit earlier in the season. Kristen Williams kicks to Westbrook for 3.
Boy, what a difference Westbrook knocking down threes makes for this UConn offense. You can't cheat off of her. They'll keep the defense honest.
1-point Husky lead. Dorka Juhas and Caroline Ducharme sitting at the scorer's table waiting to check in for UConn. There's Van Clunen. Now King for 3. No. Westbrook for the rebound.
It's always helpful when guards can come down and rebound.
3 minutes to go, quarter number 1. Nelson Adota with the ball. Sets the screen for Williams. She'll let a 3 go. That's off the mark. Gets knocked back to Kristen. And the Huskies get a reset of a 20-second shot clock. Westbrook, the pull-up jumper, good.
Well, pick your poison, and right now Marquette is making sure Fudd doesn't get going offensively. They're leaving Westbrook open.
Avina with 7 of UConn's 11 points after coming off the bench when Nika Mule got 2 quick fouls. King inside. Liza Carlin with the ball, working on Edwards. Nice right-hand spin move, but the shot doesn't fall. That's going to be off of Van Clunen and UConn's basketball.
And who else was right there? Avina Westbrook.
Avina Westbrook, as you see, Ducharme and Juhas come into the ball game. Kristen Williams and Aaliyah Edwards will go out for the Huskies. Avina Westbrook, Sunday against Georgetown, had a season-high 4 steals and 2 blocks, plus 9 points, and 4 assists, and only 1 turnover.
It's just a tremendous afternoon for Westbrook.
And that's emblematic of her play lately. Really coming off the bench has provided a spark for this team in that role. Here's Juhas. 10 to shoot. Nelson Adota looking to make some room for herself. Cut off aggressively. Will draw the foul as she goes up. As Liza Carlin tried to hold position, but Nelson Adota too strong.
Tremendous work inside by Nelson Adota, knowing that Carlin at 6'2" really can't stop her one-on-one. Nelson Adota at 6'5", you know, she pounded the ball there on the floor. She wanted that. She wanted to shoot one and make it a 3-point play.
Olivia Nelson Adota, in her last 5 games played, has shot 66% or better in 4 of those 5. It was 50% in the other. Very good from the floor lately for the Huskies. Missed the free throws there, and it remains a 3-point UConn lead. There's Antoinette Walker with the ball. Now Murata. King. Shot clock already at 10. Walker driving. Tries to get in on Ducharme. No. Nelson Adota with the rebound.
What a great step by Walker. Just couldn't get the shot to fall.
Nelson Adota had trouble pulling that pass in, but got it done. Making room for herself in the paint. And couldn't get the shot to fall. She'll draw the contact from Kennedy Miles, the junior from Cincinnati.
But what great poise by Nelson Adota, and feeling where the defense is, taking her time, taking that extra step to step by the defender, and then take the shot, you know, draw the foul. And now she's just got to take it that step further. She knows she does, and make the layup.
Free throw goes for Nelson Adota. UConn from the floor in this opening quarter, 50% shooting. Marquette 27%. And both of the free throws that time for the senior, Olivia Nelson Adota. 5-point UConn lead. Westbrook with the clap of the hands. Thought she had a steal going there and couldn't quite get a finger on the pass. Inside the final minute, here's McLaughlin. Kicks, Van Clunen tries to drive on Juhas. Blocked by Juhas. Westbrook to Juhas. Lets the 3 fly. No, Nelson Adota uses her size for the rebound, and it goes.
Nelson Adota just a dominating presence in that low post.
Half a minute to go, quarter number 1. Huskies have built a 7-point lead after we were tied at 6 for the longest time. 9-0 run for the Huskies over the last 3 minutes. Here's McLaughlin looking for help from a screen. The defensive switch. Jordan King pulls up. Big left step. Shot doesn't fall. Westbrook with the rebound and holds on to the ball. Now 2, now 1. She'll just let the time expire in quarter number 1. Well, 2 stars of quarter number 1, 2 seniors, right? Avina Westbrook and Olivia Nelson Adota working it in the paint, including off the boards. Huskies by 7 after 1. Back in Hartford, we check out our UConn Fan Choice Poll presented by Dunkin'. Tonight, we're asking you, who's been UConn's MVP this season? Go to sny.tv/votegame to cast your vote. That's a really interesting question, isn't it?
It's a fascinating question.
And we look forward to seeing what you think a little bit later on in the game. So a 9-0 run over the last 3.5 minutes of that opening quarter gives UConn a 15-8 lead. Colmo's Court Vision now is brought to you by Yale New Haven Health.
We talked about defense off the top of the show. Okay, here's Evina Westbrook, okay? So follow her right now in just an outstanding defensive possession for the senior, okay? She's sliding, talking, communicating. Now she's got the ball. She's going to slide over top of that screen, fight under. They switch. Okay, now freeze it there. Now look at her. She's down low. Now she's got a bigger player, okay? She's fronting her, anticipating, stepping in front. There she steps in front beautifully to steal the inbound pass. Really good defense by Westbrook.
And not only that, she and Olivia Nelson-Adota are the only two players that have scored for the Huskies on the offensive end. Olivia with 8. Evina with 7, making up the 15 for UConn in that first quarter. And for the Golden Eagles, haven't scored in almost 4 minutes. And part of that attributed to that good Husky defense you were just outlining there, Meg, a second ago. So here we go, UConn ball to start quarter number 2. Fudd, Ducharme, Uhas, Edwards, and Williams are the 5 in the ball game, and Ducharme will turn it over on a travel call.
Been a lot of walk calls tonight, huh?
I know I've said this before, but it was a point of emphasis for officials entering the season, as dictated by the Women's Basketball Rules Committee at the NCAA. Making sure.
Boy, don't we love them.
I knew I was opening up a can of worms there. Here's King. Nice pass in from Miles, and the bucket.
Yeah, perfect execution by Marquette.
Gets the Golden Eagles on the board and snaps that long dry spell they ended the first quarter with. Fudd trying to get clear using a couple screens. He'll kick it out to Uhas. She'll set screens for Williams. That was cut off. Shot clock now at 5. Fudd back to Uhas with 3 on the shot clock. No. Loose ball chased down by McLaughlin for Marquette. Goes off the foot of Walker. Fight on the floor for it. Williams away with it. Feeds into Edwards from Fudd and a bucket.
Pretty pass from AZ Fudd.
And it all started with Kristen Williams getting on the floor and getting gritty. Interception by Aaliyah Edwards. And a ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be UConn basketball.
Well, it all started with Williams' steal, but how about threading the needle in there? Fudd to Edwards down low. You know, Marquette doesn't want to give up a 3 to Fudd.
No, they're doing all they can to fight through the numerous screens that UConn's trying to set for her. So Evina Westbrook back into the ball game. AZ Fudd will go out to the bench. Westbrook guarded by Jordan King. There's Ducharme, drive, stops, pulls up for 2, yes. Both sides of the rim and glass, but it went through.
And that's the kind of shot they're going to be able to get. Marquette doing a nice job taking away the 3. Well, you got to get creative and take your second option.
Liza Carlin, no. And good rebounding there by Aaliyah Edwards. Uhas runs the floor. Westbrook tried to feed her. Chloe Murata will commit the foul for Marquette. Now, this is a very experienced Marquette team, but not a terribly deep team.
Well, I'm noticing what looks to me like a little bit of fatigue, and Gino surprisingly is able to get some subs in there and get some fresh legs.
Something the Huskies didn't have much of a luxury of most of the season, right? Uhas drives, and good. Dorka Uhas, who had a phenomenal game against Marquette 10 days ago up in Wisconsin.
Yeah, it was a smart read by Uhas.
Quickly, the lead now on another 6-0 run for the Huskies goes to 11. Shot clock down to 6. Edwards gets a hand on the ball, and he'll knock it out of bounds off McLaughlin. UConn basketball.
This is just active hands, everyone involved. Really good hedge there by Edwards coming out. So she couldn't turn the corner. Forces the turnover.
7th Marquette turnover of this ball game. Ducharme off the UConn screen. Too strong. And Murata with the rebound.
She's got such a great quick release. Doesn't need a lot of room. On the nice roll, but the pass just a little too tall for her, and Marquette will turn it over again. Really good give and go, just couldn't execute it. It's what Megan Duffy wanted. You know, you got to give some credit to the defense for making that pass difficult. So close.
Good cut by Ducharme, but good retreat defense by King. Or was that Carlin? Excuse me. Leah Edwards with the 2 goes. Timeout, Marquette. An 8-0 run over the last 2.5 minutes has taken the Husky lead to 13, trying to clinch the Big East regular season championship tonight at XL Center in Hartford. Let's check in under the UConn basket with Maria Marino.
Thanks, Alan. Avina Westbrook has really become a glue player for this team that's filled in gaps when needed. Case in point, last time against Marquette, she was 7 of 10 from the floor for 15 points. And she told me that being the oldest and having played college basketball the longest, she knows what needs to get done each and every game. At this point, everyone's tired. She noted that Marquette looked exhausted in the fourth quarter 10 days ago, but she said for her, that's when it's time to lock in.
Well, and you think about it, right? The most important, to get to your ultimate goal, the most important games of the season are still ahead.
Without a doubt, and it does look as if UConn is coming together at the right time. Megan Duffy even alluded to that today.
Keep talking about when these two teams played 10 days ago. Remember that Caroline Ducharme and Olivia Nelson-Agoda did not play in that game. Down to 5 to shoot for Marquette. Jordan King drives on Kristen Williams, goes right under the basket, missed the shot coming back. Uhas with the rebound. Ducharme, good defensive play and a tip away by Danielle Middleton into the ball game for Marquette. Here's McLaughlin with a wide open 3, no. Rebound tipped by Kristen Williams to Avina Westbrook. Carissa McLaughlin, 12 for Marquette. She's a 43% three-point shooter.
That's a ridiculous number. She takes most of their three-point attempts.
And struggled against the Huskies in Milwaukee, and so far has not rung the bell tonight. Down to 8 to shoot. Ducharme drives. High glass, nicely done.
Boy, she knows how to get by a defender. It's not that she's the quickest player on the floor, but she is just so savvy the way she attacks.
And uses her length to shield the ball well, too. 15-point Husky lead. The run up to 10-0. Van Clunen steps back and got it.
That's a really tough shot. Impossible to defend.
Lauren Van Clunen, the 5th-year senior, who averages about 13 a game for Marquette. Ducharme, no. We were talking about football a minute ago. Can I say that's wide right? Jordan King. Now Van Clunen. Now Middleton. Drives on Ducharme and will draw the foul as Ducharme kind of nudged her a little bit there toward the end line. I talked about Huskies only turning the ball over 6 times in the entire 40 minutes 10 days ago up in Marquette. Well, they've already matched that tonight, and we're still 4:14 to go in the second quarter. McLaughlin misses that. Nelson Adota gets the rebound over Walker. So AZ Flood back into the ball game for UConn. Kristen Williams, Aaliyah Edwards, Olivia Nelson Adota, and Amina Westbrook, the 5 on the floor for the Huskies.
Nice cut by Flood. They missed her.
She'll stop and pop there. No. And that ball will go out of bounds off UConn. And an empty possession there for the Huskies. Storyline in this one, if you're just jumping in here with us, Nika Buell with 2 quick fouls early in the ball game, so she's been on the bench for much of this one. Now the Huskies with a little front court pressure again.
UConn would like to speed this game up a little bit, get some points in transition.
Here's Van Klunen. No. And the ball right to Nelson Adota. Amina Westbrook, 3 of 3 from the floor for the Huskies. Here's Fudd, now Nelson Adota. Cut off nicely. Carlin defending. Feeds Westbrook, who cut. Retrieves the pass, puts it up. No, but there's a whistle and a foul. That is going to be on Jordan King, I believe. That'll be her first.
Gino not happy with Nelson Adota there with what she chose to run on that offensive possession. You know, part of it is Marquette makes it really difficult to run when you want to run. And we've talked about their defense for the better part of this game. They just play really good, solid defense, and they don't let you do what you want to do. And you can see how UConn is struggling in the half-court set. But what UConn has had a tendency to do, and they did it in the first 35 minutes of that game at Marquette, is they play a little bit in to Marquette's hands. They don't run. They don't execute as they should on the offensive end. And then in that fourth quarter, when they went on that 27-7 run or 27-11, it's because they exploded offensively and went hard to the basket and moved without the ball.
Trap in the front court. Westbrook couldn't get 2 hands on the ball. They'll clear the timeline. Here's Walker, and that'll be a travel. Took 2 steps before she got the ball under control and whistled for the turnover.
What do you think Megan Duffy thinks of that point of emphasis right now?
She might be expressing that to Karen Prieto, standing next to her on the sideline. King knocks it away from Fudd. Fudd regains. Edwards gets fed inside. Recovers.
3 seconds.
And gets stuck in the paint.
You know, the problem is Edwards got the ball. She's working so hard in that low post. You get the ball, shoot it. And Gino said you got to get out. Like if you are going to be in there and you get it and you kick it out, you got to get out of the lane. You can't set up camp.
We are completely all the way opposite side of the court from Gino with headphones on, and we both heard him.
Exactly.
Aaliyah.
People at home heard him.
Yeah. 15-point Husky lead. Inside 2.5 to go in this second quarter. Walker stops, pulls up, and hits the jumper. Antoinette Walker, the junior from Lisle, Illinois.
What a great spark off the bench she's been from Marquette.
And 3 minutes without a point from the floor for the Huskies. Westbrook will try and fix that here. No. Edwards with the offensive glass. Defended well underneath, but will draw the contact and the foul. As always, Gary Apple and Carol Walters standing by in our New York studios with all the first half highlights and analysis. It's the UConn women's basketball halftime show presented by Dunkin'. So Liza Carlin, a grad student from Mason, Ohio, outside of Cincinnati, picked up her second foul there. She goes to the bench with minute 51 to go. Olivia Nelson Adota will go to the bench also, to a nice round of applause.
Yeah, she's working hard in there.
Luka Juhas back in, and here's Aaliyah Edwards from the free throw stripe. Talked about offensive glass with Aaliyah Edwards. Sunday against Georgetown, 3 of her 4 rebounds in the game were on the offensive glass, and 13 of her 24 rebounds in the last 4 games. Offensive rebounds. And free throws made there for the sophomore from Canada. confusion defensively between Fudd and Edwards. Van Clunin will get called for the offensive foul. Uhas draws the charge.
Just really smart defense there by Dorky Uhas. Good team defense, seeing the ball driving, stepping in to help. It's just a savvy defensive play.
Fair to say the level that we've seen from Dorky Uhas in like the last month has really picked up.
Yeah, I think she's finally healthy too. Settled into this program that she transferred into over the summer.
She and A.Z. Fudd have had a little high-low game going a couple times this year. That shot missed from Williams, who is 0 for the game so far. Coming up on 1 minute to go in the second quarter here in Hartford. Westbrook tipped it. So a reset here, but not a reset of the shot clock. 10 to shoot. Westbrook is the recipient of some pretty hard contact from Juliana Okosin and draws the foul.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if she twisted her ankle or just got bumped.
Didn't feel very good, I can tell that.
It didn't look good.
Oof.
Yeah, the right leg, the lower right leg, and it's going to take a lot more than that to get her out of a game.
No question. .45 seconds to go in the half. Fudd drives and gets it.
Nice recognition by Fudd. If they're taking away the three, they can't take away the three and the drive. So dribble, trying to penetrate and shoot the ball.
First points of the game for Fudd in the final seconds of this first half. About a 4-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock here. McLaughlin defended by Williams. Picked up her dribble, lost it, and they'll call a foul on Aaliyah Edwards as she tried to jump in and get the steal. So that's Aaliyah's first foul. And 14 seconds now on the inbound play for Marquette to try and do something, and with the bodies on the floor, cleaning up some things. They had to do a massive cleanup job on the floor this afternoon.
After the students rushed the court after the men's victory over Villanova last night, this court was a mess today.
Let's just put it this way. You didn't want to be the one mopping it. The people who were mopping it worked on it for about 2.5 hours. Washing and mopping and drying.
And it looks great now.
Yes, it does.
It's great work.
6 seconds, 5 seconds. Walker drives on Fudd. Uhas was there to cut her off. Whistle and a travel called.
Again, more good team defense.
2.9 for the Huskies. Westbrook will take the inbound pass and hold the ball. And that is how the first half is going to end. A 2-minute scoring drought at the end of the second quarter for Marquette. For UConn, they shot 50% from the floor in the first half, held the Golden Eagles to 29% shooting. And leading the way for the Huskies, Avina Westbrook with 9 points and Olivia Nelson-Ododa with 8. Aaliyah Edwards with a late flurry to get 6 points in the first half. And at the end of 2, it'll be 31-14 Huskies.
Hey, Gino, it's not always pretty, but you're, fighting for a season championship here, and to hold Marquette to 14, that's a heck of a thing.
Yeah, it is, because, as you can see, they're very, very deliberate, and they're very physical, and they run their offense. And I thought we were incredibly disruptive for most of the half. That's the way the games are against Marquette. They're a tough physical team. They play hard, and you just got to battle. And I don't think we could do a better job than that.
No, and your depth, this new depth that you have played in a bit. And I thought Westbrook came in and changed the game when Mule got 2 fouls.
Yeah. Yeah, Nika gets one during warm-ups, one during timeouts, and then hopefully she don't get any when she's on the court. So hopefully she can play some in the second half.
You may want to be careful at halftime.
Yeah, gotcha. Bye.
All right, Coach Gino Auriemma heading to the locker room to address his team. They are 20 minutes away from a Big East regular season championship. And two of the seniors have led the way, Olivia Nelson-Ododa and Avina Westbrook. We get ready for the start of the third quarter here at XL Center. Huskies with a 17-point lead over Marquette. UConn looking to clinch the Big East regular season championship with a victory tonight with Megan Culmo. I'm Alan Bestwick. Well, you talked about this adventure of a season that it's been, never knowing who the offense is going to come from on a given night. Well, tonight it's come from seniors.
It sure has, right? I mean, we've talked about how good defensively UConn has been, but on the offensive end, they haven't gotten a ton of offense going, but you got to love what Westbrook brought. Look at that great cut, reading the defense, and on the fly making the great cut to the basket, knocking down a three. Just really brought a burst off of the bench with her. And Nelson-Ododa, who started back in the starting lineup. I love that step and shoot by the defender. That's what she's got to do. And getting on the offensive glass and finishing, she's made herself a presence in that low post.
Those two players combining for 55% of UConn's points. A minute ago, Maria Marino caught up with Marquette coach Megan Duffy.
Coach, what changed in that second quarter, and how do you get back on track?
I think we're just struggling to score. I think UConn's defense is really good right now. We're struggling to find our just opportunities to get downhill and find that extra pass. Too many turnovers for us, which leads obviously empty possessions, and then they're coming down and just being tough inside and getting kind of what they want in a lot of ways.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, so Golden Eagles will have the ball to inbound to start this third quarter here in Hartford. Again, what's on the line tonight? Marquette in 5th place in the Big East standings, trying to keep that last first-round bye for the Big East Championship Tournament coming up in a week's time. And UConn, a win tonight, they claim the Big East regular season championship.
And let me tell you, that's always been the most important championship, the regular season. That means you've been good for 3 months.
Aaliyah Edwards grabs the interception. So Nika Mule back into the ball game for the first time since early in the first quarter. Here's Fudd with the ball to Mule. Didn't take the shot.
Good decision after sitting most of that first half in foul trouble.
Leah Edwards missed. Nelson-Ododa picks up the rebound. Second chance here for UConn. Kristen Williams wide open. No. Up over the top of the backboard, and a turnover by the Huskies. Fans will have to stay standing.
UConn's making them work tonight here in Hartford.
This grinding style that Marquette plays. Halftime, I talked to one of the season ticket holders sitting behind us here. I said, what do you think? He said, they're frustrated.
Yeah, no joke.
Here's McLaughlin. That's a three.
That's exactly how Marquette wanted to start this second half. Get a bucket, particularly one from McLaughlin.
First made three of the ball game for Marquette. Only the second made three of the game for either team. Speaking of grind, here's Fudd, kicks to Williams. Edwards comes out. Nelson-Ododa can't post. Fudd off the screen. Clears herself some space, and that won't go.
In your home court, aren't you supposed to get that roll?
Yeah. Especially while the fans are still standing.
The way Marquette plays defense, they could be standing a while.
Early in this game, we went through a big chunk of the first quarter with only 12 points scored between the teams. It was 6-all. Kristen Williams got a hand on that. Good save in bounds by McLaughlin. Murata kicks. Shot off the mark from Carlin, and rebound to Mule. Williams will shuffle. A tough night on the offensive end so far for Kristen Williams. She's 0 for 5 from the floor. Does have 3 assists.
He was calling for someone to back cut.
Played 2 minutes in this third quarter. Still waiting the first UConn points. Van Kloon with the ball. McLaughlin. It's a 2 and goes.
You just knew when she was coming up and turning the corner to catch that ball, she was going to be ready to shoot.
Grad transfer from Purdue, 3-time All-Big Ten player. Now these fans trying to get the Huskies going here. A little Marquette run. Ball off the back of Nelson Adota. And Fudd for three. No.
Nice box out by Carlin.
Marquette a chance to increase the dent in the UConn lead.
Nelson Adota confused back there as to who she's guarding. It's very physical.
There's Buell, the steal, the run out. And misses the layup. Gets the rebound tipped by Fudd. And a foul underneath will be called. Kristen Williams draws the contact. Liza Carlin will draw the foul there. Nothing will frustrate the coach more than missed layups, right?
Add it to the list of things that are frustrating him right now.
Kristen Williams to the bench for UConn. There is Ducharme. No, missed that layup.
Nelson Adota got away with a little bump there, going for the offensive rebound as well.
Foul all the way to the other end and in by Jordan King. And Marquette on a run here to start quarter number 3. Timeout. And a 7-0 run to start this third quarter for the Golden Eagles. Jordan King on the run, and she's uncontested to the rim. Back live at the XL Center, what was a 17-point lead starting this third quarter is now just 10 for UConn. Huskies tonight with more turnovers than assists. And to say they've been cold this quarter would be accurate.
You're being kind.
Let's see, how many in the audience are still standing, waiting for those first points?
Loyal fan base. They are mostly standing. A couple kids are saying, "Oh, heck with this."
Yeah. Edwards trying to post up. Instead, they'll kick to the corner. That's a three, and it goes for AZ Flood.
People cheering not because they're happy UConn scored, but because they can finally sit down.
I knew that you were going there. Only the second made three of the ball game for UConn. Little defensive confusion.
Lack of communication. UConn got lucky that Marquette turned it over.
Van Clunen just looked away from the pass to see where the defense was coming from, and it went right through her hands. Edwards bodies Van Clunen and gets the nice pass from Nelson Adota.
And they worked on that a lot. It's one-on-one in that low post. Terrific pass from Nelson Adota.
King has to retreat. Ball pressure by the Huskies. Nice job to get the ball across the timeline from Marquette. There's Walker from the corner. No. Rebound's going to be knocked out of bounds by Murata, and it'll be UConn basketball.
I mean, yeah, the pass was great, but look how hard Edwards works for position. And there's just no weak side help. If she's being fronted like that, just lob it over. Perfectly executed.
There's Edwards again on Van Clunen. The big step blocked. Hits the bottom of the backboard. And it's going to be a hold called there. And Van Clunen is going to pick up the foul. That'll be her second.
And Van Clunen defended that really well. There's not much more she could have done. Edwards just stayed with it and grabbed the loose ball after it was blocked.
So Aaliyah Edwards up to 8 points, 5 rebounds on the night for the Huskies. Here comes Savina Westbrook into the ballgame for Nika Mule. Mentioned Marquette not being terribly deep, some foul trouble beginning to add up. Lauren Van Clunen has 2, Liza Carlin has 3, and here's Savina Westbrook for 3. Yes, that's the role you're supposed to get on your home floor.
Absolutely.
Timeout, Marquette.
That's the way a senior responds, too.
Absolutely. So Marquette started the third quarter on a 7-0 run. UConn answers with an 8-0 run over just 1:11. Huskies doing some work here after that timeout in this third quarter. Nice 8-0 run.
Well, watch this inbounds play, okay? So Westbrook is right here inbounding the ball, okay? So as she passes the ball in, Now watch what happens. Great back screen. Now pause it right there. These two kids do not communicate for Marquette. Westbrook is going to come out and is wide open and makes them pay, draining the three because of the lack of communication. If you set a good back screen, you set a good screen, you're going to get open.
Lavina Westbrook leading all scorers in the game in this one. 4 of 6 from the floor, 2 of 3 from outside, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. And the other leading scorers for the Huskies include Nelson Adota, Edwards, and Fudd. So the lead back up to 18 as Marquette takes over the ball right about the midway point of quarter number 3 tonight here in Hartford. Again on the line tonight, a chance for UConn to wrap up the Big East regular season championship. Here's Walker driving, steps back, and drains it.
That step back is really tough to defend. Westbrook cut her off, but you got to give Walker credit.
She has really come alive lately and gets the tip there. Ducharme being challenged by Walker for the ball. Ducharme will come away with it. No reset on the shot clock for the Huskies, so it's 10 to shoot. Here's Westbrook. She'll hit Ducharme. Who'll get iron on the three. Westbrook Edwards with the offensive rebound, excuse me. Westbrook with the nice cut and the pass from Nelson Adota.
Well, there, I think, Marquette is assuming UConn's going to set it up. Really smart play by Nelson Adota. And Westbrook, again, reading the defense, making the great cut.
Nelson Adota gets a hand on the ball and then gets a hand on Juliana Okosan's arm and will draw the foul.
See, it looked like she was going to set up the offense, just like we saw earlier in the game. Westbrook going, hey, come. Ooh, reads the defense. A really smart play, and Nelson Adota is such a good passer from up there.
5 assists tonight for Nelson Adota. Here's McLaughlin off the screen, steps back for 3, around and out. Ducharme will get called for the shuffle.
By this point, whether or not you agree with the calls, the players have got to adapt and figure out the way the officials are calling the game and play accordingly. Slow it down.
You can't make that ball fake without your feet solidly planted on the floor. McLaughlin again, no. Westbrook with a rebound for UConn, and the Huskies run. Fudd drives and scores.
Smart play by the freshman.
Almost stole the inbound pass. Ooh, big collision. Leah Edwards down on the floor. Here's Murata driving, and there's going to be a foul called on the floor against Olivia Nelson Adota in the paint. Juliana Okosan is a 6'4" sophomore from Denmark, number 0 for Marquette, and she's solid. So she and Olivia Edwards colliding. That's the result. Not often you see Leah Edwards sprawled on the floor. Shot misses from Carlin, and the rebound all the way out to Juhas, who's back into the ball game for UConn. She'll look to run some offense. Here comes Fudd, sets the screen. Fudd drives all the way in and got it.
Fudd, she drew the foul and scored, but she's so good, even as a freshman, reading the defense, taking what the game is giving her, much to the delight of her friend, Paige Beckers. But realizing, okay, I don't have the long-range shot. Let me take it to the basket and see if they can stop me here.
At halftime, AZ Fudd had 2 points in this ball game. That will put her into double figures. And all of it has been from 2-point range, except for 1 3-pointer that she made.
She's just a really smart basketball player and knows how to read the defense.
Another 7-0 run for the Huskies over the last minute and a half of this game. Here's Antoinette Walker. Kick to the corner. King's shot misses, and who else? Lavina Westbrook is there for the rebound. That's her 5th of the ball game.
Juhas was open inside. They missed her.
Westbrook feeds a cutting Uhas, but couldn't handle the pass off the floor.
See, the problem is, yeah, I mean, that was almost too unselfish. Westbrook came across that screen, and she was open to shoot the ball, and then unselfishly you make that pass, but as Gino was indicating, bounce it.
Yeah.
Much easier to handle.
A 7-0 run for the Huskies over this last 2 minutes and change now. And the lead is 23 for UConn, their largest lead of the ball game. McLaughlin tapped away from her by Bud. Now 10 to shoot for Marquette. Uhas comes out and will foul McLaughlin. Much to the disagreement of the XL Center crowd.
Let's take a look at this. I thought it was a little bit of anticipation from my angle. And I think Joe Vasili is one of the best officials in the game. I don't love that call. Clearly, Uhas didn't either.
So Marquette with 15 to shoot now. Big fight in the paint. Liza Carlin and Aaliyah Edwards. Fans wanted a call. Van Clunen gets a bucket.
Well, you could also argue a couple plays ago when Edwards gets tossed to the ground and there's no foul there.
Yeah. Edwards sets the screen, then rolls and gets the bucket. What a pass from Avina Westbrook.
That's just old school pick and roll.
Tried to float it into Van Clunen, and Kristen Williams will let it go out of bounds. Turnover to UConn.
Well, here, nice screen, nice roll, perfect bounce pass.
Aaliyah Edwards up to 10 points in the ball game. Here's Avina Westbrook driving. She'll draw contact from Danielle Middleton. And the Marquette foul will be Middleton's first. Trying to see if UConn's going to be shooting. No, it'll be an out-of-bounds play. It's 4 team fouls in the quarter on Marquette. Minute 6 to go. Aaliyah Edwards to the bench. Nelson Adota on the floor with Uhas. Westbrook gets fouled and gets the bucket.
You know, some games, everything goes right for you. And right now, that's happening for Avina Westbrook, but she's making it happen. She's making good plays, terrific curl off of that screen. The pretty finish while getting fouled, the great emotion. She's given this team exactly what they've needed tonight.
And that free throw equals her season high in scoring for the fifth-year senior Avina Westbrook, who heads to the bench to a nice ovation. Solid night for Westbrook. So inside of a minute to go. Mule back into the ball game. Tries to fight through the screen. Jordan King will miss. Carlin can't get the rebound. Uhas will pick up the loose ball. Uhas to Nelson Adota. Draws 4 defenders and will get called for a travel instead.
Quick travel call there.
Avina Westbrook almost doubling her season average in scoring in this one. Her defensive play has been stellar for this team over the last 4 or 5 games. As now shot clock is off and Marquette looks for the final points of this third quarter. Three seconds, travel, turnover to UConn with 2.9 to go. Duffy looking for a quick sub to keep Van Clunen from picking up another foul. So
smart, yes, that's a smart substitution.
So 2.9 to go, and will Mule take a shot? No, she'll just dribble it out. And after a very slow start to this third quarter where the Huskies didn't score and Marquette got 7, UConn closes the third on a 12-2 run, 51-25 UConn. Ready for the start of the fourth quarter here at XL Center, and our game reset presented by Ford. For the 7th-ranked Huskies, Avina Westbrook leading the way tonight with 17 points. A solid defensive night as well. Lauren Van Clunen leading the way, and also in some foul trouble for the Golden Eagles as Marquette tries to hang on to the 5th spot in the Big East standings, and UConn tries to clinch a championship. Our UConn Fan Choice Poll presented by Duncan. Tonight we asked you who you thought was the MVP of UConn's season. Survey says the senior, Avina Westbrook, and a lot of you that way. Well, certainly tonight she has been the star of the game for the Huskies.
Well, and it's proof that you don't have to start the game to have an incredible impact. And then once she entered the game, she immediately made her presence felt. Here, reading the defense beautifully, the great finish, the great bounce pass off of that really nice pick and roll. She's just taken what the game has given her. She hasn't played outside of herself. She just played the game the way she knows she can play, and it's been exactly what they've needed.
Now, Avina Westbrook, remember at the end of last season, the disappointing exit in the Final Four for the Huskies, when was forecast to be a high draft pick in the WNBA, just a couple days later said, no, got unfinished business, I'm coming back. And everything this Husky team has dreamt of achieving this year, despite all the ups and downs and all the injuries, is still out there for the taking.
Well, they're coming together at the right time.
Kristen Williams for 3.
Yeah, the minute that left her hand, it had perfect rotation. It looked like it was going in.
That's Williams' first made 3 of the night. She had been 0 for 3, and it's her first points of the night. Huskies by 29. Nika Mule got screened. McLaughlin will get fouled as she let a 3-pointer go. Kristen Williams will get called for the foul. So there are the Big East standings starting play tonight in the final week of the season. Huskies with just the 1 loss. Creighton 3 games in the loss column behind. So a win tonight with 2 games to play gives UConn the Big East championship again. Be the Huskies' 21st Big East title, their 8th straight conference championship, and their 28th overall. Van Clunen back in the game over Juhas for 2.
That's where Van Clunen is so dangerous at 6'2". If she's guarding a center, she can pull them out, knock down that long-range jumper.
First Golden Eagle player into double figures in scoring in the game, Lauren Van Clunen. And we're in the fourth quarter. Nelson Adota, yes, that's a 2, but a good-looking one.
And that was set up with a nice back cut by Easy Fudd.
10 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists for the senior Nelson Adota. Short 2-pointer there. Nice ball movement by Marquette, and Liza Carlin gets the bucket. Carlin, the sophomore from St. Paul, playing with 3 fouls here in this fourth quarter. Fudd off the screen for 3.
Easy Fudd moves so well without the basketball.
And yes, that is Paige in her game uniform on the bench for the Huskies tonight, though with the brace on the knee and not available for UConn. And a timeout called by Megan Duffy and Marquette. Well, the team's star player, who's been their star cheerleader for a lot of the last couple of months, cheering on her best friend, Easy Fudd, as Fudd drains a 3 for the Huskies. List of goals for this team every season: win your conference regular season championship, win the conference tournament, then go after the national championship and try to win it. Gino seeking his 9th straight regular season conference title with this Husky squad, and his 28th overall in 37 seasons.
That's absurd. That's just an absurd number. And this is the time of year where he is at his best in getting these kids prepared for the biggest moments.
Van Clunen misses. Fight for the rebound underneath. Murata kicks it out. Shot from Carlin missed, and Ducharme will come up with the rebound. And we look ahead to the Big East Conference Tournament. A win tonight, UConn locks up the #1 seed. That puts them as the winner of the 8-9 game. That'll be a travel and a turnover by Ducharme. You know, we saw, and the trouble with a one and done is we saw Villanova, right? Some teams in this conference are getting better, and if you have a bad day against a team that's hot, you might not win that second goal on the list of things.
Absolutely. I mean, Villanova, as we saw when they beat UConn, a terrific team. But if someone gets hot in that tournament at Mohegan Sun, DePaul's dangerous, Villanova's dangerous, Creighton is dangerous.
Creighton played really well. Middleton couldn't draw the contact. Juhas took a shot right in the mouth. She's still down on the floor, getting up back at UConn's restricted arc. While Ducharme runs the other way, gets the bucket. Dorka Juhas still down on the floor. They'll stop play while the graduate student gets looked at, waiting for officials to, and finally they do waive and allow athletic trainer Janelle Francisco to come onto the floor to check on UConn. Juhas, excuse me.
So you saw her stand up. You saw the left arm.
And by the way, while we're watching this, the officials are over at the replay monitor checking to see if this could turn into an intentional foul.
Doesn't look like it.
Well, that's tough. Nice hand for Dorka Juhas as she gets up off the floor. I hope she's okay. So Juhas will go straight down the tunnel, and the officials continue their review over at the scoring table. Joe Vasili, Karen Prieto, and Polani Spurlock-Welsh are officiating team tonight, all veteran officials. And they'll have a look at things for just a moment.
She was hands up. It was not intentional. That's what they called, and that's the right call.
There was no foul called at all on the play. But they could go back and call an intentional foul if there was contact they didn't see at the time to the head. Nelson Adoda will get in the way twice on that shot, and they'll call a foul on the second one. It's going to be on Kristen Williams, the foul call, not Nelson Adoda. So that'll be her third. It is Nika Mule, Caroline Ducharme, Olivia Nelson Adoda, Kristen Williams, and Aaliyah Edwards, the five on the floor for UConn. So Liza Carlin steps to the free throw line, sophomore from St. Paul, civil engineering major. Sorry, too tough for me.
Sorry, I can't even spell that.
Gets the free throw to go. They'll stop play for Amari DeBerry to enter the ball game for the Huskies. And Olivia Nelson Adoda heads to the bench with 10 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists on the night for the senior. Here's DeBerry out high. Looking for Edwards, now kicks out to Ducharme. 4 Golden Eagles collapse into the paint as Ducharme tried to drive. Antoinette Walker to Carlin. Walker cut off. Van Clunen, yes for 2. Lauren Van Clunen up to 12 points on the night, the only Marquette player in double figures in scoring. And we go under 6 minutes to go in the ball game with a Big East regular season championship trophy somewhere in the house, waiting to be presented to UConn at the end of the night. Ducharme, nice right-hander, protecting the ball with the left shoulder.
Yeah, she's already perfected that shot in just her freshman season.
DeBerry will get called for the foul, knocking away the inbound pass to Van Clunen.
Well, DeBerry doesn't have a ton of minutes, so she's got to learn how to play that ball coming into the low post. She's got to learn how to play it.
King feeds it inside. Okosin working on DeBerry. She'll travel. So Juliana Okosin into the ball game to try and match the size with the inexperienced DeBerry, who goes at 6'5", Okosin at 6'4". As Gino continues to try and get these young players some minutes late in the season. Mari DeBerry on the floor with 6 to go in this one. Here's King. Oh, that's a nice play from Jordan King. Kristen Williams ahead of the pack, stops, pops, and gets fouled from behind. Jordan King, the foul for Marquette.
It's a nice pull-up. It's tough to see the foul. King certainly didn't agree with it.
Kristen Williams gets the bucket, and Piaf Gabriel will now join the lineup for the Huskies. Aaliyah Edwards heads to the bench. 10 points, 5 rebounds for the sophomore. This game was at the Xavier game, where Gabriel and DeBerry were in the game at the same time and had the nice high-low going at the same.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Here's King's floater. Gabriel knocks the rebound, but it goes back into the hands of Chloe Morano. Walker for 2, yes. Antoinette Walker, who has almost tripled her points per game and more than doubled her rebounds per game in the last 4 from the first 16 games she played in this season.
And that's what you want. You want to be playing your best basketball February heading into March.
DeBerry sets the screen for Williams, who runs into traffic, throws it up with the right hand, and Marquette gets the rebound. Long-range shot, no. A lot of people standing around waiting to see where the rebound goes. It ends up on the floor, as did Kristen Williams. And a timeout for substitutions requested by Megan Duffy. Well, Paige Bueckers, numbers on the Huskies playing with last year's most outstanding player in the lineup and without. It took a while for those without numbers to catch up to the with.
You know, it really did, and dare I say, I mean, obviously you never want anyone to get hurt, certainly not the best player in the country, but this team would not have improved to the levels that they have had she been playing the whole season. So you got to try to find the good in it, that they've gotten a lot better defensively. Look at that. They just forced a 30-second shot clock violation, but they've all gotten better. They play together. They're working offensively together better, different combinations. They would stand around and just watch her do it.
And certainly we wouldn't have learned what we did about Caroline Ducharme as early as we did, as Piaf Gabriel will get called for the foul.
Yeah, Ducharme is a great example of someone stepping up and taking an opportunity that's in front of her.
So down to 3 minutes to go for the Huskies. So 2 regular season games left to go, and then the Big East tournament before the NCAA tournament for this UConn team. This is the first day since December 5th we've seen Paige Bueckers wearing her game uniform on the bench. As Ducharme got the shot block, but Gabriel fumbled away the rebound, and will get this one. So what can we expect out of Paige Bueckers if she doesn't come back till the Big East tournament? Even if we see her for a minute or 2.
You know, the minute she comes back, whenever that may be, if it's before the end of the regular season, if it's the Big East tournament, You're going to see a dynamic player who is a great teammate. She's not going to come in and take over and take every shot. She's going to work her way back in and do what she does, make great passes to open teammates, play good defense, and make great shots.
Nice feed from Ducharme to Gabriel. Yeah, I mean, look, Paige Beckers hasn't played since December 5th. She's not coming in and playing 40 minutes.
No, and she's not going to be perfect when she plays. Gabriel
goes down hard and will draw the foul there on Juliana Okosa.
It's physical even at this point. The fronting, they fronted her in that low post. Miles was in front of Piath Gabriel. A lot of bodies in there.
Under 2 minutes to go in this one. And Kristen Williams for three. You know, and there's always, here we are in the last week of the regular season, but these are the two teams that met in the Big East championship game last year in the tournament down at Mohegan Sun. So if you're Megan Duffy and if you're Gino Auriemma, you know, you're still wanting your team to execute and learn things about playing the other team because you might see them again in a week.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Gary Apple, Carol Walters standing by for a full recap of tonight's game. Plus, we'll hear Gino Auriemma's post-game news conference. It's the UConn women's basketball post-game show presented by Geico coming up here on SNY. DeBerry, no. Mika Mule, and will not be able to stop Rose Nakumu from getting the bucket. Not going to be one of those everybody eats nights tonight because three players on the Husky lineup haven't scored yet, and we're down to just over a minute to go in the ball game. I guess it could change, but
well, a lot of that has to do with Marquette and the tough defense. They play physical.
And they'll call Amari DeBerry there for the moving screen. Well, a 28th conference championship in 37 seasons. And Gino talks a lot about really placing a high value on the regular season championship. The tournament's one and done. But the regular season championship shows over the course of 30 games, or 20-something in this COVID era, your team's been the best.
They've always taken great pride in it. It's hard to do that. Anyone can get hot for a couple days, but to do it for 3 months?
Yeah. Mule tried to feed Gabriel there a little too deep, and Gabriel tried to feed DeBerry. And
DeBerry twisted her ankle. She was walking quite gingerly.
Well, a team that UConn had so much trouble putting away 10 days ago in Milwaukee. Foul inside as DeBerry flashed the ball to Gabriel. UConn was able to get away from tonight. And here's a good measure of the reason why. Tonight's player of the game presented by Cadillac, Avina Westbrook. Look at those numbers. 17 points. And a turnover to UConn. There's the trophy. Barb Jacobs holding on, waiting to bring it onto the floor.
She's being very careful.
I would be too.
Trophy.
I would be too. Trophies, t-shirts, and the season's work rewarded tonight here at XL Center as these final 15 seconds run out. Huskies will have to take a shot or give the ball back to Marquette. Or it'll go out of bounds off Marquette. Now UConn can dribble it out. UConn shooting 52% tonight, holding Marquette to just 35. Golden Eagles average 65 points a game this season. They'll be held to just 38 in this one tonight. And turnover on the time violation.
The last thing you want to do is make those two blunders right in front of him at the end of the game.
Yeah. And that's it. That's how it's going to end here in Hartford. The UConn Huskies are Big East champions for a 21st time. Their 28th conference championship. Secured tonight in Hartford, it is the Huskies 69, the Golden Eagles 38, and UConn wins the Big East again. Well, seniors leading the way tonight in this game for sure. Avina Westbrook, Olivia Nelson-Ododa, terrific, 17 and 10 between them. Took a while to get going, but the freshman AZ Fudd kicked in finally, and she winds up the game with 13 points. Kristen Williams with 9. But for UConn, now 14-1 in the Big East, and it's their 20th win on the season against just 5 losses.
And it's been a season unlike anything that we have seen in Gino's 37 years. But I got to give Nelson-Ododa and her teammates so much credit for just staying tough and persevering.
The head coach is with Maria Marino.
Coach, congratulations. You clinch the Big East regular season title. Can you speak to what it took to get this done this season?
Well, you know, every season has its own challenges, and certainly this one has enough for, 5 seasons. But, throughout the whole thing, we tried to stay positive and tried to stay, in the moment. Just try to be really good every day and not think about, March. But winning a conference championship is always the first thing on your mind, This is what you play for. You play in the Big East, you're trying to win the Big East championship. And, no matter how many of these we've won in the past, that's the first one that these guys have won as a group. So I'm really excited for them.
Regarding the effort tonight, is this the type of defense that can carry you into March? Well,
we talked about that, and it's pretty much going to have to be like that. If we want to, keep playing deep into March, it's got to be all that. We thrive off our defense. If our defense is really good, then our offense gets going. And I think the defense that we played in the first half was about as good as we're capable of playing. So hopefully we can build on that Friday night.
And how has the level of competition in the Big East tested you?
Well, we said that this is kind of like an NCAA team, that you're going to be playing. They're big and they're tough and they're physical and they're disciplined and they run their stuff. And in our league, every night is something different, and it's not easy playing defense in our league because they all shoot the ball so well from the perimeter, and the coaches do such a great job of moving people around. So, I hope that we can get 4 or 5 teams in the NCAA tournament, because I think there's certainly 5 good teams.
Absolutely. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
The seniors took the trophy. Kristen Williams, Olivia Nelson-Ododa, and Avina Westbrook, and now I'll invite the rest of their squad to join in the photos as the Big East Championship goes back to the Worth Champion Center in Stores in 2022. Athletic Director David Benedict there with the head coach. I mean, when you read these things, they're mind-boggling sometimes when you look at that, right? 87% win record as a member of the Big East, and 100% as a member of the American Athletic Conference. The regular season championships, the tournament titles. I mean, that's just amazing.
It's mind-numbing, and I don't know if people can truly appreciate it. I think a lot of the fans in Connecticut got kind of comfortable with them winning and got used to it. But it's hard what they've done.
Gino's talked about to us the level of play in the Big East picking up some. We saw, they lost the conference game to Villanova here. They've been challenged both at home and on the road. Remember DePaul, they won with 1.6 seconds left out in Chicago. There's nothing given. How many teams will the Big East get into the NCAA tournament field of 68? Who knows, But he is correct in that we're seeing what was hoped for when UConn came back into this conference, which was it would elevate the level of everyone else.
And it's a basketball conference. All of these schools, they put a lot into their women's basketball programs. They support them both financially and otherwise. It's been great to be back in this conference just to watch the level of play. It's higher.
Yeah, and it certainly has been challenging for this squad to go through, no question. But they got it done. And with a 14-1 mark, UConn are Big East champions again. And we've got more from Hartford in a minute.